Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Russ and I drive my 2024 Subaru Forester Sport. This has been my daily driver for the last 2 years now, and in this video I want to talk to you about my experience with this car's CVT. CVT is my least favorite feature about my Subaru Forester, so in this video I won't pull any punches and will tell you all the good and most importantly all the bad about the CVT based on my own personal experience. So yeah, at the end of the month, it's gonna be 2 years since I started driving my Subaru Forester, and before that, I never drove anything that had a CVT in it. I was never particularly excited to get a car with a CVT to begin with, and I was super close to getting my initial favorite, the Toyota RAV4, mainly because it had a regular automatic instead of a CVT, which is the only option offered on a 5th gen Forester like mine. But in the end, I still went with the Subaru Forester despite the CVT, simply because this was by far the best car for my needs, and that's how my experience with the CVT has begun. So first of all, what is a CVT? CVT stands for Continuous Variable Transmission. The 5th generation Subaru Forester like mine uses TR580 Lineartronic CVT, that's the name for it. This CVT is basically trying to act like an automatic because it comes with simulated gears, so you don't just hear a constant whining engine sound when you try to accelerate. This CVT will instead go through imaginary, or shall I say fake, gears. It also has floppy paddles on certain trims like my sport trim for example, for when you yourself want to tell the car to initiate a simulated gear change. And let me try to be as detailed as possible so you can understand why CVT is my least favorite feature about my Forester. I think the reason why I don't like the CVT so much comes from the simple fact that I do indeed love driving my Subaru Forester, and I always look forward to driving this car. And the CVT is almost always getting in the way of that enjoyable driving experience by severing that seamless link between me as a driver and the car and turning it into something absolutely unpredictable and increasingly frustrating. Some people get surprised when they see that in the last 2 years I've only managed to drive this car around 6,000 miles, but that is simply because 80% of my driving is city driving here in Brooklyn. But despite short city trips, I am in this car every day. And before getting a Forester, I've seen and read pretty much every review of this car, with the overwhelming conclusion by other YouTube reviewers that basically said CVT drives and feels like an automatic, it's no big deal, you don't notice it, it's not a problem, yada yada yada. Well, straight away, this wasn't my experience. First time driving this car, I see a red light, so me being like 500 feet away, going roughly 25 miles an hour, I decided to simply let my foot off the gas and gently coast to the red light, where in the end I would apply the brake to make a full stop. Didn't think anything of it, feels like the most natural thing to do in a regular automatic, right? Well, to my huge surprise, Forester handles these sort of coasting stops in its own unique way, which at first left me very nervous and concerned. Basically, I let the foot off the gas, the coasting begins, then I see speed go from 25 miles an hour to 22, and right as I get to about 20 miles per hour, I feel the sudden feeling of the car actively slowing down, as if I'm braking, which I'm not by the way. It suddenly feels like the car is no longer freely coasting, but is doing something what feels like engine braking. It's such an odd sensation, and one person on Reddit has described this feeling perfectly when they said that coasting suddenly goes from feeling free and unobstructed to feeling congested. And you feel that without pressing on the brake. But unfortunately, we're not done yet. As you feel the car actively braking without pressing on the brake, then the weirdest thing happens when the car gets to around 15 miles per hour and you suddenly feel this surge of energy, like a jolt forward, or what people in the Subaru community call the car lurching forward. In a few instances, the car would actually gain a mile of speed, but you as a driver, you feel this weird sensation like the car is jumping forward for no reason. So in summary, you're just trying to coast to a stop, and this should be the most relaxing thing, but the car manages to go from free coasting like normal to sudden weird congested slowdown coasting from 20 miles an hour to 15 miles an hour, and then to a sudden surge of energy and lurch forward as you get to 15 miles per hour. And the rest of the way down to zero, it's all normal, free coasting again, like nothing happened. So what's actually happening behind the scenes? Basically, it's torque converter releasing. And as it does that, it creates all these weird sensations which I honestly wish were not happening. Obviously, the first time this happened to me, I went to the forums, I went to Reddit. This is normal behavior for these CVTs. And they all do that, is the unfortunate answer given most often when you try to present this as a problem. And I will be completely objective and say that this is not happening every single time you do coasting and arrive at the red light. In my personal experience, it happens in a very strong and pronounced way every 200 to 300 miles of driving, where the car would just be doing this for days on end, and then out of the blue it would just stop doing this very pronounced engine braking, torque releasing, lurching forward feeling, and then once again it's smooth as butter for miles and miles, and you forget about this. And this randomness and unpredictability once again is as big of an annoyance as the problem itself. I literally start the car and right away I can tell if the CVT is having a good or bad day today. And it translates into my mood and my feelings about driving this car that day. Am I happy about all of this? Of course not. I don't enjoy this weird, jumpy feeling. Of course, I simply want smooth driving, especially since most of my city driving is done in that cursed 15 to 20 mile per hour speed range. There are a few ways I learned to mitigate this problem, which doesn't always work, but I think it's still worth sharing with you guys. Number one, don't coast. When I want to stop at a light now and my speed shows 20 miles per hour, I begin braking instead of letting my foot off the gas. And as I brake and as my speed goes below 15 miles per hour, that naturally stops the engine braking. At least you don't get that feeling like the car is all congested and slowing down without your input. And then also you get rid of this lurch forward because you kind of skip this whole part while doing your light braking. So that works for me sometimes. Of course, it's not ideal because ideally I would love to just coast from 25 to 5 miles per hour and then apply the brake at the very end instead of doing this sort of like game where I'm trying to fool the car by skipping this 20 to 15 mile per hour mark. It's weird. It doesn't come natural, and even after 2 years of driving this car, I still get annoyed by this. Also, another way to make the car CVT behave better is to let it warm up to around 200 degrees. That's when the cars generally would be shifting and sounding a lot smoother. When you look at the page 552 of Forester manual, it even states that when the engine coolant temperature is low, the transmission will shift at higher engine speeds in order to shorten the warm-up time. In real world, it often translates to CVT sounding pretty rough, in the winter especially. Even if you warm up the car for 5 or even 10 minutes, the whole CVT sounds like it has a cold or something, and just the whole car is just not its normal self. Not smooth for sure. But at least this part is covered in the manual and is to be expected when the car is genuinely cold. Another thing I don't like about the CVT is the fact that sometimes it can be a bit jumpy when you accelerate from 0 to about 15 miles per hour. Once again, happens all the time during city driving when you're doing between 0 to like 15 miles an hour. The car's in front of you, it's crowded, you can't just press on the throttle freely as you would when there's nobody in front of you, so you have to press the throttle very gently. And as you get to about 8 to 10 miles an hour, you feel this completely unnecessary jolt like the car is hunting for its imaginary gears or something. It's frustrating as well. But yes, you can solve this problem by pressing on the gas more firmly, and then the car will give you a more linear, smooth acceleration without these weird jolts at low speeds. But in real world traffic, you can't always do that simply because you've got cars in front of you. So yeah, you end up doing 12 miles an hour, dragging behind the car in front of you, while CVT is doing all these weird lurches. This kills mood fast, and yeah, also something that I just cannot get used to. Another thing I want to add is that after driving this car for 2 years, I'm very much used to the gas pedal, and it's not my first day, so I know how to press it to get what I want out of it. However, what makes driving a CVT frustrating is that at times, when you say you go 25 miles an hour and you press the throttle, not in an aggressive way, but in a rather usual, slow and measured way you always used to press it, and you're expecting a predictable linear acceleration, the car would suddenly do a fake downshift and just jump forward, gaining way more speed than you were expecting or asked for. And it's important to stress that this happens in intelligent mode. So yeah, this lack of predictability really doesn't leave you on the same page with the car and makes you just feel puzzled, like what's going on here. Well, like I said in the beginning, I'm also going to mention some good parts about the CVT, and there's not a lot to be honest with you, but I guess the highway driving is when the car feels the most like automatic. If you go between like 30 miles an hour to 70 miles an hour, it feels exactly like an automatic. No issues, never even think about it. It just works seamlessly in the back and you don't think about it. It does what you want it and it's great. No issues on a highway. But when the traffic inevitably comes to standstill and you're stuck doing this constant stop and go between speeds of 10 to 25 miles an hour, that can get annoying fast. All the problems I described with congested coasting and car lurching is what you begin to experience. I mean, I was driving home from the doctor's yesterday and I was stuck in traffic and did this whole weird engine braking, lurching forward nonsense for a good 30 minutes. This was super frustrating, and I guess I could have used adaptive cruise control not to deal with it, but I simply don't trust it enough with this many cars on the road and just so many unpredictable drivers. I just like to be in control myself. So in the end, it was me dealing with the car lurching forward and engine braking, and all while trying not to hit the guy who's in front of me. So yeah, not really fun, to be honest with you. So in the end, this has been my 2 years driving the CVT. I always joke that I wish I could pay more money for some old 6-speed bulletproof automatic that's gonna go 500,000 miles and yeah, never have any issues instead of dealing with this every day. And to be fair, it's not every day that I'm dealing with this. But like I said, the randomness with which it happens annoys me almost as much as the problem itself. I have a 2-year service coming up in a few weeks, so I will be sure to mention it and ask them to check for a transmission control module update. Maybe it's gonna help. Also, I read in the forums that sometimes CVT relearn also helps. And then I read that sometimes it doesn't help, so I'll keep you posted. Hopefully they're not gonna charge me for the TCM update, but I'll keep you posted in upcoming videos. But yeah, this has been my experience. Please share with me how's your Subaru and how's your CVT performing, and if you found fixes to the issues that I've just mentioned. I don't think I'm being too picky when I bring up all these stuff that annoy me, because at the end of the day, like I said, I enjoy driving this car, and I'm not like one of those people for whom they get from point A to point B and they don't really listen to the car. It doesn't matter how it behaves. I'm not like one of those people. I do want some predictability and yeah, some well-established patterns basically, where I could drive this car and not have to think about all of the surprises that the CVT is gonna throw at me at some unexpected moment. But yeah, thanks for watching. Please subscribe and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, guys.